Good morning, brothers and sisters, and happy Sunday to you. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. The theme we are going to develop this morning is titled Dangerous Alliance. Dangerous Alliance. An alliance is a union, a pact, a transaction. It is a special relationship that unites us to someone, or a special relationship established with someone. As for danger, it refers to what is harmful, what is pernicious, to which means to harm. It is all that puts us at risk. Note that an ally comes from an alliance. We all inherit certain covenants, alliance, like kinship. And we also make covenants, new alliance, consciously or unconsciously. Besides, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 states, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Lack of knowledge is not good for anyone. For when you have your eyes covered by darkness, it is difficult at that moment for you, for us, to observe the unseen realities that form the basis of life, and that is consciously or unconsciously. And by ignorance, we can ignore certain aspects of our lives, so important to carry out our destiny. Note that spiritually, the spiritual world dominates over everything. We should bear it in mind. This is why night always precedes day. The spiritual world has a considerable impact on the destiny of each creature of God, on the destiny of each child of God. So let us not neglect the spiritual side, because the one who is spiritually awakened has a head start on many things. The spiritually awakened one has a head start on many things. When we talk about sibling covenants, many immediately think of covenants, alliance made by their family or by their ancestors, except that we also wave pacts, alliance, consciously or unconsciously, in their day-to-day life. It goes unnoticed most of the time, but basically these are covenants, alliance that impact our lives, that impact our destiny. Some alliance are the will of God in our life, while others are the emanation of the flesh, the emanation of our desires, our own inclinations, or due to our inattentions, or our lack of vigilance. Let us emphasize this morning that an alliance can be tied up by a simple word spoken consciously or unconsciously. Yes, an alliance can be tied up through a pact, a blood pact, for example. A blood pact that most of the time we find securing with certain couples, or it can be done through a transaction such as sending photos or videos. These are certain kinds of alliance that we construct, we make on a daily basis without even being aware of. Even a simple gift accepted can start or can be a starting point of a physical or a spiritual alliance. At the time T, for the receipt of the said gift, the union is made, and spiritually it will materialize in seconds. In the Bible, the majority of covenants, alliance, were tied up and concluded through words. Hence, the power of language. Noah and his sons will also establish a verbal covenant with the Almighty God, and a sign, as a sign of this covenant, will have a rainbow aimed at preventing a second flood on earth. The Bible states in Genesis chapter 9, verse 15 to 16, "And I will remember my covenant between you and me, said the Lord, and all living creatures of the earth, and the water shall no more become a flow to destroy all flesh. The bow will be in the cloud, and I will gaze upon it to remember the perpetual covenant between God and all living beings, all flesh that inhabits the earth." This is a biblical covenant that still exists to this day. This path continues. Every time we see a rainbow, it is a biblical reminder of that covenant between Noah and the Almighty. Brothers and sisters, a covenant is more than a contract between two parties. since one can easily terminate a contract, but this is not the case for a covenant, for a pact. Let us know this morning that all parties cannot break an alliance alone. Both parties must agree to break it. Hence, the dangerousness of alliance, of covenant, that are not enlightened or led by the Almighty. In that case, a mediation of the Holy Spirit is compulsory. The Holy Spirit, this infallible consoler, who guides us, who orients us. This is the reason why many continue to suffer despite having left their country of origin, despite having left their family, despite having married, despite having left their marriages, despite having put an end to this association, to this relationship. Many still experience unwanted sex in their sleep and night food in their dreams. Many are pursued in their dreams. Many have extremely jealous husbands and night wives, preventing any further relationship. A veil is placed in their lives, keeping them from entering into God's perfect plan for their lives to marry or to build themselves up. Yes, good numbers, despite multiple changes in their lives, find with bitterness that their past always catches up with them. They are treading water. They live in despair, in oblivion, dejected. They wonder about their life and the causes of repeated failures. Most of the time, the problem comes from alliance made in the past, and this alliance never dates from a day, but they are things that have accumulated over time, tons of problems that have solid roots. Pacts influence, pacts determine and decide our relationships. Pacts decide and determine our finance, our whole life. Yes, this is the kind of power of an alliance. Covenants have rights over our lives, our choices, our homes, our health. Some alliances are satanic covers, and the moment we violate the law of a covenant, we are sanctioned. Hence stagnation, loneliness, divorce. As long as the interference with the old unions continue, as long as they continue to direct, to manipulate our destiny, as long as the dark umbilical cord still and always bind us to all that with which we have identified ourselves in the past, it will be difficult for us to see the end of the tunnel. As long as we are possessed by certain contracted entities throughout our life, it will be very difficult for us to build ourselves properly, since the words have a weight. Yes, the words have a weight, force. The words have a force, and a tight pact, a tight alliance cannot fade without the support of God, without the intervention and the manifestation of the power of the Holy Spirit. The pact, the alliance, always resists the test of time. In a simple way, an alliance can be contracted consciously or unconsciously. Hence, the dangerousness of alliance that do not emanate from God. Let us be careful what we come out of our mouth when we have a romantic relationship, when we are in a romantic relationship as well. Let us be careful. We've come out of our mouth in a couple, or when we are with the family. Let us measure our words and our actions. Otherwise, later it can turn against us, against our destiny. A blocked path can totally destroy our life. I would like this morning, brothers and sisters, to challenge you with more vigilance, to be more careful when it comes to choosing a spouse, when it comes to choosing a husband, a wife, when you want to set up a business, when you want to build a house, even when you are offered a gift. Let us take the time to associate with God, to consult the Almighty through prayers, through fasting, because there are poisoned gifts that serve as alliance to manipulate and disorient our life. There are gifts that lead us to loss, to fall. Everything is allowed to us, but everything is not useful. Everything is allowed to us, but everything is not for the glory of God. Everything is permitted to you, to me, but everything is not for the salvation of our soul, of my soul, of yours. Let us be vigilant, because the devil has no friends. By wanting to set up this business, this small business, rest assured that those who accompany you, those who are your partners, those who are with you in that business, rest assured that they have been mandated by the Almighty. Rest assured that it is the Lord who placed them in your path to avoid confusion, to avoid disappointment, to avoid witchcraft, to avoid falling into clutches. Yes, to avoid falling into the clutches of the devil. Because many have started projects, and years later they realize that at the start of these projects they had made pact, alliance, sometimes unconsciously, with those who know how to excite the Leviathan. The Leviathan here is the devil. It is the ancient serpent. And at some point, they gave it all up. But despite the departure, despite the left, nothing has changed. They said to themselves that they thought that by living their life should improve. But alas, everything they do today, everything they start, fail. They experience multiple failures in their lives. And that is so unfortunate. Let us be vigilant, brothers and sisters, with regard to our alliance, with regard to the alliance that we contract here and there. Even within our homes, let us be vigilant. Who shares our roof? Who shares our roof? The mere act of introducing someone into our home is a covenant. Many do not know it, yet it is true. Good numbers even go so far as to share their bed with strangers. Vigilance is tight. Vigilance, my brothers and my sisters. A tight pact is difficult to undo without the true intervention of the Holy Spirit. Only God can deactivate a pact. Only the true Holy Spirit can diffuse the physical and spiritual bombs covered by dangerous alliance, by pacts concluded without the authorization of God. Brothers and sisters, let us be spiritual men and women who take the time to judge everything before deciding and getting started. Before making resolutions, let us consult the Lord, otherwise till we go from bad to worse. It is for this reason that Yeshua Mashiach, the King of Glory, sent us a Comforter, the Holy Spirit, who guides us. Without the Holy Spirit, it is well to live and succeed on this earth, especially if you want to succeed accordingly to God's plans. Because this world is complicated and many things are conditioned. You have to be careful. You have to be wise. You have to be smart. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to achieve your dreams. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to build yourself. Because the world does not love the children of God. The world does not like anything that bears the grace, the glory of God. The world does not like the stars of God. Pay attention this morning, my brother, my sister, to the covenants that we make, to all the alliance that we make, that we wave here and there, sometimes without realizing it, because we are deceived most of the time. The devil will not come to you as you think in your head. No, he will not come he will not come the way you think, but he will come with a very beautiful clothes. He will seduce you. The devil will carry you away. You will feel like you have arrived. It is after that you will realize that this relationship was not for the glory of God, that this partnership was not for the glory of God. There are prices to pay in life. Let us be vigilant. Let us be the emanation of the Holy Spirit. Let us be the emanation of the grace of God. Spirit who should lead us, who should guide and instruct us. This is what Psalm 32 verse 8 says. I will instruct you, I will counsel you, I will look upon you, I the Lord. If you cleave to me, if you persevere in faith, if you have total confidence in me, the Lord, when the Lord counsels you through the Holy Spirit, you are sure to succeed. Surely you will make alliances with the will of God. Alliances that will be victorious, that will bring joy around you, and that will elevate you in society. Good Sunday and good start to the week. This is the team we had to develop this morning. Thanks.